Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to NoDQ.com's predictions video for Money in the Bank 2018. It will be taking place in Chicago, Illinois. I will be there in Chicago. Virtue will be there. Stefan will be there. Jeff will be there in spirit.
I'll be with my dad, with my son, Father's Day. Gotta do the dad thing, you know?
I understand it is Father's Day, but hopefully you and Dylan can stay up and watch myself, Virtue, and Stefan as we do our live in-person No DQ Live right after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So stay tuned for that.
Thursday. We'll be there, brother.
All right, sounds good. So let's talk about Money in the Bank. Let's do our predictions. We have 11 matches. It is going to be a long night for sure. Maybe 5 hours. Who knows? The first match is the kickoff match. It is for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. We have the Bludgeon Brothers defending against Anderson and Gallows. Now, Jeff, I know you're a very big club fan. You love the Bullet Club. You love the Balor Club. You love all kinds of clubs. So tell me, Jeff, your predictions for this match. Do you think there's any chance of Anderson and Gallows leaving with the titles?
Any given Sunday, there's a chance, but I think based on current WWE booking and based on the fact that they're positioning the Bludgeon Brothers as these unstoppable monsters, much like Braun Strowman on Raw, probably not going to happen this Sunday for Gallows and Anderson. I'd love to see the club win the tag titles and get their run with WWE again, like they briefly had in 2017, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I think it's going to be Harper and Rowan the whole way, all the way through. It's probably going to be a pretty short affair, pretty decisive for them to win.
I agree on that. I agree with you, Jeff. I think the Bludgeon Brothers will retain in a quick match. Maybe we'll see Sanity debut and confront the Bludgeon Brothers. I think that would be cool, but I don't think it's going to happen on the kickoff. Stefan, let's get your thoughts on it. Do you see any surprise outcome here?
No, I think we're all going to agree. The Bludgeon Brothers are probably going to win this match. There's no reason for Anderson and Gallows to win it. They haven't really built them up much. It would be a surprise, and it would be a really, really big, what do you call it?
Schmaz?
Yeah, an upset. It would be a huge upset. And I just don't see that happening at Money in the Bank. So.
All right. Well, Virtue, do you want to
Who
go
got
against
pinned?
us?
Who got pinned recently from the Bludgeon Brothers? Was that Harper?
Yeah, it was Harper. And what's funny is they did not actually do the other singles match. They just did that one singles match, which was really weird. But
yeah, because of that, it's a no-brainer to me. The Bludgeon Brothers are going to win and retain the tag titles, and it's on the kickoff show. So, you know, it's the thing. The thing with the Bludgeon Brothers is they haven't been on TV a lot, and when they finally were in a match, Harper got pinned. So, to me, this is going to be a clear case of strong booking for them. You know, they might make a couple close calls for Gallows and Anderson just to make you think, hey, maybe they'll win this match, but nope.
yeah. So we're all going with the Bludgeon Brothers. I personally don't care about this match. To me, it's just a throwaway filler match. I'm not surprised it's the kickoff match, although I'm a little surprised that it wasn't the Raw Tag Team Titles match, which was the kickoff, because I feel like this is a really flat match too. We have Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the Deleters of Worlds, against the B Team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. To me, this should be nothing more than a quick 3-minute match with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt winning decisively. I did mention on No DQ Live that I would like the idea of Bo Dallas maybe turning heel on Curtis Axel and joining Bray Wyatt and becoming Woken, although Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are baby faces right now, so I guess that would not work. But I would just like to see something interesting. I just feel like the B Team, their momentum has already cooled off, in my opinion. I know some people are spending $35 to buy those B shirts. I mean, Virtue, what do you think about those B shirts? And do you think we're going to see new tag team champions?
No. But what I do think we might get in this match, and you're right, it's probably going to be very short, like 5 minutes, you know, because Matt Hardy will have to do his clapping gimmick, and Bray will have to go do his crab walk and stuff like that. Could you see, Authors of Pain coming out and cleaning house just for the heck of it?
I like it.
I mean, you know what I mean? Now, granted, I'm going there. I want to see something like that happen. It probably won't because it's WWE. Regardless, Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy retain. I mean, it's just, the 2 tag matches are, if either title changes,
right,
I will be shocked. I will go streaking in the quad.
Oh wow, maybe you'll expose yourself on our live video.
No,
that's not gonna happen.
Went over like gangbusters, Aaron.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, what do you think?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction right here, right now.
Uh-oh.
I think the team wins the titles.
Wow. That's an interesting prediction.
Well, elaborate.
We see Virtue streak in the quad, but I have a funny feeling it's going to happen.
Why?
Well, how?
Why? It's this gut feeling I have that it's going to happen.
All right. Well, Stefan, do you agree with Jeff, or do you think he's absolutely bat poop insane?
I think he's right that the B team is going to win, but I don't think they're going to win in a way that gets them the titles.
Really?
I think that's the only way you accomplish what you need here. What you need is for the B team to keep their winning streak. But you don't need to give them the titles. You need to keep it on Matt and Bray, because the only way to save the tag division on Raw right now is with Matt and Bray and Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. That is those are the only 2 teams that should be facing for the titles on Raw. But the B team need to remain undefeated. Maybe after that, you build them up some more with some more victories, and then see if you can get them back in the title picture. But let's say they win by disqualification or something like that. I don't see the titles changing hands, though. So
all right.
That's
all right.
prediction.
We're split down the middle on this one. I do like Virtue's idea, though, of the Authors of Pain coming out afterwards and laying out Matt and Bray. It's almost the same idea that I had for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, but that's on the kickoff. This is on the main card, so why not? Why not have the Authors of Pain do something and make a memorable moment on the pay-per-view? I like the idea, Virtue. Jeff,
we'll see.
I think you're bat poop insane, but let's move on here. Let's talk about the singles match between Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. I really don't care about this match. I think it's had some of the worst build-up segments in recent memory. We had the segment with Lashley's sisters. We had a segment where Bobby Lashley was squeezing the hand of Sami Zayn too hard. We had a segment where Sami Zayn was out in the crowd, and Bobby Lashley was standing in the ring like an idiot. And then we had Bobby Lashley doing an obstacle course only to be attacked by Zayn at the end. And that was the final build-up for the match. So, yeah, this has not been one of the more memorable feud build-ups. Well, maybe it is, but for the wrong reasons. Stefan, let's start with you on this one. Your thoughts on the build-up, and who do you think's winning?
I don't care who wins. That's sad, because I really like Sami Zayn, and I would really like to like Bobby Lashley. I wanted him to break out the first time he was in WWE, and it didn't happen. But he's just I've had people comment in videos on YouTube and tell me that Bobby Lashley is a much better speaker on the mic than I think he is. But I just haven't seen it, and he's got no charisma in the ring. As big and as ominous as he looks, he's got no charisma in the ring. So I don't care if he wins or not, and I don't care if Sami Zayn wins or not, because he's just been so horribly written through this entire build-up. I can't get behind Sami Zayn for once, and I want to so bad, but I can't. It's just terrible.
I agree with you, man.
I mean, I guess I could flip a coin to make my prediction, but I'll just say Bobby Lashley, just because I figure, they're trying to build him up somehow, even if it's really badly. So Bobby Lashley.
All right. Well, Virtue, what do you think about how Bobby Lashley has been booked, and how would you change things to get people to care about him more?
I don't know if anyone could care about him. I mean, he came from Impact Wrestling. The fact that even his first run, other than the whole Umaga angle at WrestleMania, he was the ECW champion. I mean, did WWE ever book Bobby Lashley right to begin with? With this Sami Zayn match, I'm reminded of Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman one time on Raw, where Sami Zayn had to last like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and he ran around at the very end to get the win. I'm surprised they didn't put some type of gimmick on this match to make Bobby Lashley look like a killer and a destroyer. But the only way to save him is to book him strong and have him start winning matches with his power moves, and this is going to be where they start, and they need to cut all the crap out on Raw of making him look foolish with his clothes, with his obstacle courses, the sisters. I mean, it's crazy. I sure hope maybe they're ribbing him. What do you think? Maybe somebody's ribbing him.
Jeff, what do you think?
He needs a new finisher. He needs a new finishing move badly.
That's one component of many that need to be adjusted. The fact of the matter is, to quote Jeff Meacham, here's the thing. They brought Bobby Lashley in because he was a dominant force in Impact, and they booked him like complete crap within a month. Why bother bringing him back?
Yeah.
Maybe Richard's right. Maybe it's one big rib on Bobby to make him earn his spot back. I don't know. But he's got to be strong. He's got to seriously just kick Sami Zayn's ass this weekend, or the whole thing is really shot. It's hell. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. I feel like Lashley might have actually been booked better in Impact Wrestling than WWE. That's really saying something.
He said little and did much in Impact, and it was successful. It worked for him.
Yeah, exactly. I love Sami Zayn, but I think, at this point, Lashley just needs to destroy him in a quick 2-3 minute match and move on. End the feud, do something different with both guys, and just take things in a different direction. And let's try to forget about this feud.
From being in a main event spotlight with teaming with Kevin against Bryan and Shane, it wasn't the greatest match of all time, let's be honest, but it was still a marquee match. And here he is, one major pay-per-view later, and he's in the crap can.
Yeah,
I sure hope they don't try to pair these two up as an odd couple going forward after this feud.
Oh no.
My gosh, I know, but I just envisioned it for a second.
Oh,
Yeah,
Don't give him any ideas, Virtue.
yeah. You
gotta say what's on my mind.
Damn you to hell.
damn you, Virtue.
All right. Speaking of moving on, let's move on to the next match, which is Daniel Bryan versus Big Ass. This is a rematch from the Backlash pay-per-view. I'm not really looking forward to this match. I really don't care. Daniel Bryan, I feel like his momentum has stalled in recent weeks. I feel like this feud is flat. Now, with that being said, if Cass loses this one, what is there for this guy? What do you do with him? I don't know. I feel like Cass almost has to win this, even though it does Daniel Bryan no favors. So, Jeff, let's start with you. Any ideas for how WWE can salvage both guys at this point?
What are we on? Match 4 here?
Match,
So far?
Yeah, match 4.
4. How many matches have we said we don't care either way?
All of them?
4? Yeah. That's all needs to be said about this whole show so far. Cass has to win. They have to book Cass as the winner. Bryan will recover from a loss to Cass. Cass will not recover from a second straight loss to Bryan on pay-per-view. Cass wins here.
All right. Stefan?
Not saying I care either way, but,
Yeah, he pretty much said everything that I would say. I mean, Bryan doesn't need to win, and Cass absolutely needs to win. So, and plus, I think they've got him booked or already advertised for, what is it, Extreme Rules next month? The next pay-per-view. So that would be the rubber match, I suppose, if you don't count TV matches. So yeah, Cass wins this one, and then they have a rubber match at the next pay-per-view.
there you go.
What they need to do is have something in the match where maybe the turnbuckle's exposed and Daniel Bryan's head hits it, and all of a sudden Daniel Bryan looks like he's knocked silly. And yes, it's a touchy subject, but I can't believe they're not doing a storyline like this with Bryan's concussion past. And this could get Cass an easy victory, I mean, not an easy victory, but to protect Bryan. Like, well, the turnbuckle was exposed and Bryan has concussion problems and his head hit it. So I think Bryan's going to dominate this match with his fiery energy. Cass will try to get his 3 moves in. Gosh, I don't really know, man. I don't want to pick against Bryan, but like you guys said, it's hard because if Cass loses, you might as well put him on main event, So I am going to pick Cass. Somehow he's going to win, whether it's shenanigans or like I suggested where the turnbuckle comes off and Bryan ends up hitting it when the ref's not looking out. Cass is going to get a win, and it's just not going to look clean, though. It's going to be like like a Miz win.
Yeah, I agree on that. I wonder if maybe they'll do like an Owen Hart, Shawn Michaels type angle where Cass does something and Bryan collapses and everyone's concerned.
That would
for
be
him.
good.
Even
That would
though
be good.
even though it would be a knockoff, at least it would be something interesting.
So would it be a non-finish, or would Cass still win the match?
I would be fine with a non-finish if they did this big injury angle with Bryan. It would just at least it would be a storyline. At least we would have something.
You're calling for a hopeful because of how bad this story is. Let's take a second, reflect on that, then go to the next match. Because wow, it's true though. It's true.
Well, maybe they could have Dr. Mind come out with the lights and shine them in Bryan's eyes afterwards too.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
But people would talk about that. It would be all over the internet if they did an angle like that. Oh, but that's too deep. That's too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. My guess is Big Cass will just get DQ'd or something, but I'll say Big Cass wins just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
So we'll go with Cass. All right. Moving on here to Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. I really don't care about this match. I have no interest in the build-up for it. We had Roman Reigns throwing Jinder Mahal through a cardboard wall to set up this match. And on Monday's Raw, we just had Jinder Mahal force Samir Singh to wrestle Roman Reigns. Whoop-de-doo. Don't care about this match. And if WWE puts this match on last, they are absolutely bat poop crazy. That would be one of the worst decisions ever to make in the city of Chicago. If WWE wants CM Punk chance, they'll put this match on last. I'll tell you that much. Really, I think this match would be best off opening up the main pay-per-view just to get it out of the way. The crowd will be energetic. They'll probably be more invested than if you save it for later in the show. So as far as who wins, let's go ahead and talk about that. Jeff, let's start with you. Who do you think's winning this one?
Oh, it's so much apathy toward the entire situation. I can't even process anything else than saying Roman has to win. It's Roman Reigns, so I'm just gonna go with that. Next.
All right, Virtue.
Roman should be the Universal Champion, and I told everybody when I saw Jinder Mahal go to Raw during the Superstar Shakeup that he was going to be Roman Reigns' fodder, and that's exactly what's happening. And Roman, this is a showcase for Roman to get beat up for the first half of the match, the first 75% of the match, and then we know what's going to happen on the take-home of the match: Superman punch, spear, Roman 1, 2, 3. Simple as that.
All right, Stefan.
The winds of change are coming.
Wait,
I don't know if you guys have noticed how different the promos for Jinder Mahal have been the last 2 weeks when he's talking about the winds of change. And it may be something throwaway that they're just trying to build up, and it ends up being something stupid like the return of the other Singh brother or something. But something's going on that he's foreshadowing something that we're not seeing coming.
Ambrose?
I don't know. I have no idea. But considering I don't care about this match, I really don't care to lose this prediction by saying that somehow, some way, I think Jinder Mahal is going to win.
So you think he's going to win?
I think he's going to win. And y'all might be able to troll me on this one because I'm telling you right now, if that match goes on last, I'm walking out. I know Aaron's got to stay. He's got to cover the show. And I know Virtue's going to stay to see Roman Reigns. But if that match goes on last, I'm walking out. I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette.
I'm telling you what, man. If this match gets trolled in any way, no matter where it's at, it's going to get hot and heavy in our section.
I should totally just have the camera rolling and do a live video if that match goes on last. That will be one for the ages. That's why I'm hoping it goes on last, just because I want to see Chicago riot, and I will be personally entertained.
Do a live. I will roll live on my channel if that match goes on last. That way I can have your reactions go. Like I'm watching you. It'll be funny.
A little bit of no DQ inception.
No, you'll see everybody leaving, but then there's Virtue. He refuses to leave.
You should just Virtue. Hey, Virtue. What you need to do on Sunday is when Reigns comes out, you need to mark out like crazy so you can get on TV.
I was going to try. I mean, I tried at WrestleMania, but WrestleMania is so big, so many people, it's hard. But I'll bring the Roman Empire shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it. We need to make a sign, Roman Empire, that you can hold up when he comes out.
Who fears Roman?
What was that, Jeff?
See, look, we're thinking of ways to have fun.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
WWE's not giving us reasons to have fun, so we have to make up our own reasons.
I feel like after a few $15 beers, Virtue will be cheering for
Well, Aaron,
Roman
you're gonna have the rental car, right? We'll go find a Walgreens or something, and I'll buy the poster board and the markers. So I don't have anything like that here.
I'm going to bring that stuff.
Okay. Well,
I'm not
done.
sure if they're still doing this or not, but they've been confiscating blank signs at shows because they don't want people to make them when they can.
Well, they're not going to confiscate a Roman Empire sign.
No, you make
from
the
a
sign on the
37-year-old
front.
guy.
And by the way,
make the
Jeff,
sign on the front, you leave the back blank, so you can fill in the back of every sign that you bring. So you double your signs, and you can write what you want. What I was going to do was I was going to get one of those big white poster boards and see if they could laminate it down at Kentucky School Supply. And then I can just bring a wipeout marker, and I can write whatever I want over and over and over again.
Nice, I like it.
That is brilliant. What were you going to say, Aaron?
I was gonna say, Jeff, this is not a 3D video, so you're shoving that tripod towards the camera like this is a 3D movie or something. We're not in 3D yet. Yeah, we're not.
You know
in 3D
what would have
yet.
been funny when you brought up this match to who's going to win if we all walked off camera for a second. Wouldn't that have been funny?
That would have been funny.
All right.
All right, well, this was entertaining. This was the most entertainment I've had doing this video talking about Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. How did that happen?
Did you get your pick in, Aaron?
I'm going with Reigns. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, you never bet against Reigns.
I never
and
bet
anybody
against
that's
Reigns.
foolish.
I'm betting against Reigns, and wouldn't it be funny if I win because I bet on Jinder Mahal?
I just heard.
Well, you're bat poop crazy. By the way, if that match does go on last, somebody that retweeted me on twitter.com/AaronRiff will get a free NoDQ.com t-shirt. Just throwing that out there. All right, let's move on here to the SmackDown Women's Title match. Carmella versus Asuka. I don't care about this match. I have no interest in it.
I don't care.
And on SmackDown this week, we had Asuka tap out Carmella. So now the challenger has beaten the champion, which under normal circumstances, I like it. However, Carmella is already seen as a weak champion, a champion that won by a fluke. That's the last thing you should be doing is having her tap out before the pay-per-view. If anything, have Asuka beat somebody, we already know she's dominant. Have Carmella beat somebody significant clean to say, hey, Carmella's a dominant champion. But instead, she taps out to Asuka. I fully suspect shenanigans in this match. I would not be shocked if, even though he says he's going to be in China, the rumor mill is that James Ellsworth could be heading back to WWE, possibly on Sunday, despite his promotion of an event in China. That could be a work. But I could see some sort of shenanigans. I think Asuka's going to win, but by DQ. I think Carmella will retain the title by DQ, but Asuka will be the victor. So, Stefan, your thoughts on this match? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, when you said that, I tend to agree with you, and at the same time, though, Asuka's fresh off losing her streak. Does it matter anymore that she has to get wins? Oh, this is so hard to call. Like, I don't much care about this match either, which is sad because it's Asuka. I'm going to agree with you because I can't think of any better way to end the match than to have Asuka win or lose by disqualification. So Carmella keeps the title because you got to leave the title on Carmella. You got to make her look at least decent as a champion once before you take the title off of her.
All right. Asuka won the first Women's Royal Rumble match. Then her streak ended against Charlotte. Okay, at WrestleMania on the big stage. I'm fine with that. There's no way she's not coming out of this match as the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's happening, and that's it. Carmella will try to cheat, but she's going to get caught in a submission, tap out, and I will be marking out for Asuka.
All right.
That's the feel-good moment of the show.
And you'll be giving me high fives, Stephen.
Carmella wins by pinfall.
Whoa, Jeff
Wow.
is thinking outside the box here, thinking Carmella's going to actually win the match.
It's going to be a clean victory, But I'm saying she wins by pinfall.
All right.
You know what? I changed my mind. Somebody has changed my mind. I'm going.
And then if that happens, Jeff, then it's like Thanos went like this, and Asuka's gonna pixelate away.
I think if it happens, then Aaron should bring me home a DQ T-shirt from the Pro Wrestling Team store.
I'm just going to be annoyed if that happens, but whatever.
Yeah, I think I changed my mind. I think Asuka is going to be the feel-good moment of the night. Yeah, Virtue's right. She's going to win the title.
All right, well,
it's the only opportunity for a feel-good moment for the night.
so you guys are picking a title change. I'm picking Asuka,
Yes.
but she's not going to win the title, and Jeff's picking Carmella to pin Asuka. All right, so let me take note of that. Asuka, me DQ, and Jeff said Carmella pins Asuka. All right. Moving on here to the Raw Women's title match. Nia Jax defending against Ronda Rousey. I don't care about this match. I have almost no interest in it, despite it being Ronda freaking Rousey. The build-up to this match has made me not care. The promos have been very bland. I feel like Nia Jax sounds like a robot when she recites these scripted promos. I feel Ronda does have her moments, but the biggest problem I had was this past Monday on Raw. We had several weeks of this idea that could Ronda actually get her armbar on Nia Jax? That's been the hype and the build for this match. That's the big drama. Could she actually do it? So you tune into Money in the Bank to find out, can Ronda Rousey do it? On Raw, we found out. Now, of course, let's not forget that 3 months ago, we had Asuka tapping out Nia Jax. So we have to pretend that didn't happen. But then on Raw, what happens? Ronda Rousey taps out Nia Jax.
It's a theme, isn't it? That happened with Carmella.
Yeah, pretty much the same
It's
exact
a theme.
thing. Carbon copy. SmackDown does what Raw does and vice versa. So I don't think Ronda's winning the title. I really don't. I think at first I thought maybe we would see a cash-in from the Women's Money in the Bank winner, which might still happen. I'm going to say that there's no cash-in because I have a different prediction for that match. I'm going to say that, I don't know. I really don't know. I am so confused about
You want me to go and then you go last?
I'll go last because I have no idea. Virtue?
All right. I don't. Nia Jax will still remain the Raw Women's Champion. I believe, if I can paint the picture of the match as the agent of it, you have Ronda get Nia into that armbar, and the ref's sitting there looking at it. Here comes the tap, and then whether it's Natty or somebody, the ref goes whoop, and guess what ends in disqualification? This match. So Ronda wins by DQ, right? There's no stipulations for this match, correct, Aaron?
Right.
So Ronda wins by DQ, allowing Nia to remain the champion. That's what's going to happen, in my opinion.
All right. Who wants to go
Stefan.
next? Stefan.
I could see Ronda winning by DQ, but I don't think it's going to be outside interference. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on her and Natty yet, and Natty's the only person that makes sense. So if she doesn't win Money in the Bank and cash in and make it so that Ronda doesn't get a loss and Nia doesn't look bad, then maybe she blocks on the armbar, but Nia grabs the ropes and she doesn't break on a 5 count and she gets disqualified. Makes her look like a badass. Maybe she even does it long enough and ends up doing serious damage to Nia's arm. That way you can postpone the rematch. Something along those lines, I guess. Yeah, Ronda wins by disqualification.
All right. JM?
Nia wins by DQ on the armbar not being let go of. Ronda keeps the armbar on. Referee finally gets her off the armbar. Nia's in excruciating pain. Natty comes in with the briefcase, cashes in, wins the championship right from under Ronda Rousey.
All right, so you think, Natalia, you're going with that. That was originally my idea, but now I don't think it's going to happen, and we'll get to that in a few minutes here.
In the night.
So I'm going to make a crazy prediction, a really crazy prediction, just for the hell of it.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to say Nia Jax pins Ronda Rousey and beats her. just to shock everybody, and you're going to get the shocked wrestling fan. You'll probably get me and Virtue and Stefan with shocked faces for all we know.
Yeah, that would shock me.
I say WWE is going to throw a huge curveball and have Ronda Rousey take a loss to Nia Jax by pinfall. I sense I'm going to be wrong.
Now, Aaron, think about this. Could Ronda have Nia in the armbar? Now you got to be careful, because as soon as Ronda has that armbar on, it's almost an instant tap. So maybe it's not on all the way, and then somehow the weight is shifted into a pin.
Yeah.
Like, as the armbar is applied, Nia can pin her shoulders down.
Yeah.
I don't know with that move, but something weird could happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, WrestleMania, we saw Asuka lose to Charlotte. We saw Roman Reigns lose to Lesnar. And WWE seems to like to do this lately, where they like to throw these huge curveballs and swerve everybody. And I could see people being very angry about this, about Ronda Rousey taking a clean pinfall. But then again, a lot of people don't think she should be in the title picture. So it's a really weird situation where I feel like, see, that's why I don't like this match, because I feel like there's no outcome that's going to satisfy people other than Natalya winning Money in the Bank and cashing in and costing Rousey, which makes sense. But that's why I don't think it's going to happen, because it makes too much sense.
You can't predict it easily, and it's pissing you off, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Exactly. I don't know. It's because you can't call it. It's eating at your head. That's why.
Right. But the thing that makes sense to me is Natalya coming in and cashing in Money in the Bank, pinning Nia Jax. Nobody cares about Nia anymore. And the feud with Nia Jax ends, and it moves on to Ronda Rousey and Natalya. But I sense it's not happening. So I'm just going to say, just for the hell of it, just to be different, I'm going to say Nia Jax pins Ronda Rousey. All right?
All right.
Let's move on here now to the WWE title match. And there goes Jeff. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in a last balls standing match.
Last man standing. Jesus.
So, I don't care about this match. I have no interest in it. This build-up has made me indifferent to what happens here.
WWE Indifference 2018.
Yeah, that should be the new name of the pay-per-view. WWE Indifference 2018 from Chicago. I say...
Which is even more scary.
Yeah. I say AJ Styles just wins, and that's the end of this feud. I feel like if WWE was going to make Nakamura the champion, it would have happened already. If it happens now, it feels flat to me. I think AJ Styles should just stay champion, build him up for somebody like Samoa Joe, which I think at least hasn't been contaminated yet and been ruined. Start AJ with a new opponent like Samoa Joe. Maybe do AJ versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. Just move in a new direction. End this feud and do something different. So I'm just going to say AJ Styles wins the match, and that's the end of the feud. But who knows? Maybe Nakamura wins, and they continue this feud for another month. Stefan, let's start with you. Your thoughts?
Well, I agree with you when you talked on your live video that this should have been a different kind of match, and it makes all the sense in the world, even though AJ is a face, that Nakamura should have said, if AJ loses by disqualification or count out or anything like that, that the title can change hands. That's what he should. That's the only thing that makes sense,
right, for
him to have chosen. And he chose last man standing, which is the least amount of sense to be made, because that they can both get counted to 10.
Yeah.
Like it happened before in regular rules. It can happen in it. Oh God. I really hope to love the actual match. I'm really hoping to enjoy the hell out of their in-ring work outside, wherever they go, so that whatever the outcome is, I'm still happy that I got to see the match live. However, I don't know. I don't think you give it to Shinsuke at this point.
No.
AJ Styles retains somehow, some way.
All right. Jeff?
Nakamura dominates. AJ comes back. AJ lays him out with just a devastating shot of some kind or another, and that's how it ends. AJ retains the title.
Maybe AJ hits the nut shot on Nakamura, and that's how the match ends. We finally get that moment.
But the backlash. So, Why?
I don't know. Maybe AJ finally wears a cup in this match. I don't know. Virtue, your thoughts?
At WrestleMania, I picked Roman Reigns to win, and I picked the 2 Royal Rumble winners to win, and I got all 3 of those matches wrong. And it's not going to happen this time. I already picked Roman to win. I already picked Asuka to win. Nakamura is finally going to become the WWE champion. And let's face it, it's a last man standing match. I will never forget Batista getting duct taped by John Cena, and he can't. So anything can happen to get Nakamura this title, which really is the most protected way you can take it off of AJ, because I don't think it's just going to be straight up AJ getting beat down and can't respond to 10. It's going to be some weird finish where maybe they're both down, and then with 1 second to go, Nakamura rises up like a zombie, like in the Michael Jackson Thriller video or something. And he's standing. That's what's going to happen.
You know what?
Nakamura,
What would be hilarious? You know what would be funny if they both got counted out again? That would be the funny. No, it would be funny because the place would just pretty much riot.
Well, I'm going to be in that place. This is my vacation for the year. Don't you jinx this, Aaron Rift.
And Aaron, do you not understand that the channel revolves around you being alive and not having to survive a riot? Do you understand that?
Hey, at least I would be entertained. We're talking about all these situations where the crowd might riot on this show. What does that say about the build-up for this?
What did Roddy always say? Die on camera. It's good for business.
I agree.
I mean, I'm seriously going Roman, Asuka, and Nakamura. And if I can't get at least 2 of those 3 right, then it's rage time.
It is rage time, and we'll have to get the cameras rolling for that. All right, so now we move on to the Intercontinental Championship, Seth Rollins versus Elias. You know what, Jeff? I actually am looking forward to this match. I think this ends the streak. I think that this match could be really good because, first of all, it's Seth freaking Rollins in there, and it is Elias. Elias is going to do his song. He's going to be entertaining, and I'll cut WWE a break. After 8 matches, I can finally say there's one match I'm looking forward to some degree. I do like some of the build-up. I like that guitar shot that Elias hit on Seth Rollins. And then, of course, the segment on Raw. Yeah, it was predictable with Rollins giving the stomp to the guitar from John Mayer. But, I mean, it was cute. Jeff, I know you were putting your head off of the camera. Your thoughts on this match?
It was more about the fact that the show's not over because we still have more matches to go than the match itself.
All right, nice recovery, because I was about to rip you a new one for crapping out this match.
Still matches on this card. This will open the show, first of all. This will open the show, keep the crowd hot. It won't be Roman and Jinder like we want it to be. It'll be this match. Start the night off hot. Instant gratification for a match in which Elias ascends the Intercontinental throne.
I like it.
All right, I'm going to butt in front of you here. This is a match where I think 2 things could happen, and I'll be happy. Elias can win the Intercontinental Championship, and I'll mark out, right? Because, Aaron, I'm a big Elias guy. I said Elias will get farther up on the card than Rusev, even though they're on different shows. And I remember you cringing over that a few months back. Yeah. I don't think Elias is going to win it, though. I think he's going to get close, but I think Rollins will pull it off in what could be the match of the night. I know we got 2, sorry, females, but the men's ladder match is going to be a little bit better than yours. But this could be the match of the night. Rollins seems to get the 20-minute matches. So if I want to see Elias go that long and see what he looks like. Can this guy be a worker other than just your guitar gimmick? And if I get that, it doesn't matter who wins. If I can see both, Rollins can create a star tonight or Sunday night. He can make Elias believable in the ring.
All right.
So I'm going to say Rollins is going to still win it with curb stomp and the pin because it's going to leave me wanting more.
All right. Stefan.
I was so ready to agree with Jeff, but then Virtue makes a lot of sense. I just want to say that Intercontinental guitar was the ugliest guitar I have ever seen in my entire life. I grew up around music. My dad did music from before I was born, and I've seen a lot of guitars in my life.
They clearly gimmicked that an hour before the show. That was no John Mayer guitar by a professional painter. They gimmicked that thing hodgepodge last
why are you ruining it for everybody? That's like parents telling the kids Santa Claus doesn't exist.
Because the person they should have had gimmick that guitar is whoever used to do Rick Rude's tights.
What happens if it was the same person? Then you're going to feel like
I don't think it was. Because you're right, Stefan. It was awful, ugly, hideous. But I like the concept of that, though. I mean, it had a good concept of having the Intercontinental title on that. But
yeah,
the only good concept was smashing that ugly ass guitar. That was the only good concept about the whole thing. Oh God, that thing was ugly.
Well, maybe it was done on purpose because Elias is a heel after all, and you want a crowd pop when Rollins destroys it.
Well, Elias is not going to be a heel in Chicago. Elias is going to be a golden god in Chicago because of all the weird crowds, all those funny crowds that seem to pop up every week, unless they're in down in Cape Cod or whatever.
I guarantee you he won't get as hot of a reaction as Rollins. Rollins will get a bigger one there. Rollins is white hot. Jeff Meacham will.
I'm saying this right now. Other than the ladder match, the men's ladder match, this is going to be the match of the night because the crowd loves Elias and the crowd loves Rollins.
Didn't I say that?
This is going to be another "We Are Scumbags" crowd. Whatever he calls them, they are going to agree wholeheartedly and call themselves really loudly. Based on that, I could see an audible being called and just putting it on Elias, even though it wasn't expected. I'm just going to go with Elias. I think Rollins loses absolutely nothing by losing a really good match to Elias. It sets up for a feud. Like you said, you want to see more Virtue. Well, the best way to see more is to have a return match because Rollins has got his rematch clause. So, yeah, Elias wins somehow.
Well, you could also have Rollins win the match like I suggested and then have Elias hit him after the match with the guitar, walk away with the heat.
Could happen.
It does more to give him the title. Give him the title. It boosts Elias plus the match. It doesn't take anything away from Rollins because Rollins has had an amazing last couple of months. And if he has an amazing match, it's not going to take anything away from him anyway. I think you give the title to Elias.
Right. And here's the wishful thinking on my part. I'd like to see Elias win the title, and that opens the door for Seth Rollins to challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at SummerSlam. However, I'm not getting my hopes up on that. I think it's going to be Roman Reigns for some reason, and WWE will have to prove me wrong on that. So I'm going to agree with Virtue on this and say Rollins retains the title, but I personally would like to see Elias win it and move Rollins up to the Universal title feud.
And isn't that ass backwards, Aaron? So if Rollins loses, so Elias becomes the Intercontinental Champion, and then you suggest Rollins goes to the next title up. Remember back in the day when the Intercontinental Champion was like the guy right next in line for the... See what I mean? That's what wrestling's become, where we're talking about a guy losing the IC title just to get up to the main event. And it doesn't make sense because WWE screws things up.
No, I completely disagree with what you just said, Virtue. 100% disagree with what you just said.
Go ahead, and then I'll disagree right back.
That's fine. The Intercontinental title, but unlike the U.S. title, which is not doing its job at all, is supposed to be the title that builds the guy up to the level of being the world champion. Mr. Perfect was a great Intercontinental champion, and he made that championship what it was. Had he got an actual shot at Hogan without Hogan being Hogan, he would have been a world champion. Bret Hart took the IC title as far as he could with the title. Lost it at SummerSlam, was world champion the following month. Shawn Michaels was IC champion for all that time. Lost the IC title, had the big build-up, had the Rumble victories, won the world title. The IC title is made to...
And those all sucked. Ultimate Warrior did it the right way. He went in as the IC champ and won the WWF championship and then had to forfeit the IC title. That's how it should have been done more often.
That is how it's done. You're absolutely 100%
yeah.
right. The problem is WWE's too lazy to do tournaments every freaking 6 months.
Oh, that, yeah.
I think you're both right. I think the problem is there's not enough titles. You have your world title, you have your mid-card title, and that's all you've got. You've got your tag team titles, of course. There's not enough titles, and I want to do a great no DQ debate against Aaron Riff because I know he is against more titles. I am very pro more titles.
So you were a fan of the Evasion then? You were a fan of 2001 when we had like 20 titles?
Absolutely. The more titles, because there's so many, and everybody's comment on how bloated the roster is. The roster is so bloated, and you have 2 titles for the men in the singles on each show, and on Raw you really only have 1 because Brock Lesnar's gone.
Yeah. You know what I have to say about that? Look at the pay-per-view buy rate for Survivor Series 2001 compared to Invasion, and look at the attendance for that show, and tell me that that's a good idea.
If you had if you had a European champion on Raw, somebody to have another mid-card title, you could take Seth Rollins with the Intercontinental Championship and challenge for the main event because you've still got another title to have in the mid-card for them to feud over while you've got the Intercontinental Champion tied up in a world title feud.
Yeah, the problem with that is I don't care about the titles right now that they have. So you add more on top of that, I already don't care about the titles that they currently have. What makes you think you have any confidence that they're going to make people care about the titles when the current titles nobody cares about? And by the way, Jeff, I agree with you and Virtue. I think you both make good points about the IC title. Jeff?
You're saying nobody cares about the titles. No, you don't, and because you're the boss, nobody else should either.
That is true.
Okay, see, there you go. As long as you admit it.
I do admit it.
I would love to see guys have more opportunities. More titles, maybe not, but a bigger mix of guys getting opportunities as a result of more titles, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
Jeff, and I think you and we were really going back to when the Intercontinental title really meant something. Warrior had it. It got him to WrestleMania. When the guys that had it dropped it, some of them like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels got pushed to the main event. And we just don't see that with that title anymore.
And the fact of the matter is, prior to the Warrior taking the title to Mania, the IC champion was the #1 contender, but never got a shot. Grand Machine Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, after the Warrior, all those guys. They never got that big run because they had to be the guy that was ending the show when Hogan was going midway and leaving early.
Right. And it's usually been like a mid-card title, but I remember SummerSlam 92 when the IC title was actually the main event of SummerSlam.
And that's how it should have been. That match was freaking amazing.
Well, that's pretty much what it is right now. I mean, with Seth Rollins as the champion and no Universal champion around, it feels like the IC title has been elevated as of late because of Lesnar not being around and because Seth Rollins has just been, like you said, white hot.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. The Intercontinental Championship, should make the guy holding it ready to be the next level up. And at the same time, the guy holding it should hold the prestige. That's what Miz claimed to do for a year when he was champion. That's what Rollins is doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we spent a lot of time talking about this, so I guess that's a good sign that this match does have something to it and there is some legitimate interest in it.
I can't wait for this match, personally.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's probably going to be the match of the night if the men's Money in the Bank falls short. Hopefully it doesn't. Jeff?
What do you mean about that Santa Claus thing? I'm not sure where you were going with that.
Oh, well, Virtue was breaking the fourth wall and talking about how all this stuff, like the guitar is gimmicked and stuff. No, it's supposed to be, like the guitar's not gimmicked or anything. It's like Santa Claus. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? What's this gimmick Santa Claus? What are you talking about?
Never mind. Let's move
Next.
on.
All right, don't scare me, Aaron. Don't do that to me.
Santa Claus. Oh, I get it. Santa Claus is real. I don't know where that came from.
Of course he is.
I apologize for that. He ran over Edge Bear on that old Talk Wrestling that nobody remembers from like a decade ago.
I co-hosted that show with him. I saw him do it.
And yeah, you guys were on the screen at the same time. So yes, Santa Claus is real. My apologies, Jeff. I am very sorry for that.
We booked the guy 2 years in a row. He can't remember he's real. That's terrible. Terrible booking, Aaron.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm so sorry for that.
All
right. Now that I've learned my lesson, let's move on here to the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. Now, for these matches, we're going to each have 2 predictions since we have 8 participants. You have a first pick and a second pick. If your first pick wins, you get 2 points on our predictions game that we're doing. If your second pick wins, you just get 1 point. So let's start off with the women's Money in the Bank. We have Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Lana, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. Now, originally, I was going to go with Natalya. I thought, okay, it makes sense if Natalya wins and then she comes out, cashes in the same night, and she cashes it in on Nia Jax, and she screws over Ronda Rousey in the process. And they could slow build this. They could say, you know what, Natalya can come out and say, hey, it was just business. I saw an opportunity, nothing against you. And they could slowly build the dissension between Ronda Rousey and Natalya. I think it makes sense, which is why I don't think it's going to happen now. On Raw this week, we saw Natalya score the victory on Raw. So I'm going with that philosophy that the person who gets booked strongly on the go-home show doesn't win. I just have this feeling Natalya's not winning. My gut feeling is she's not winning. I am going to be stubborn. I am a stubborn mule. I am going to predict Becky Lynch to win as my number one pick because I feel it's overdue. I would like to see her maybe turn heel at some point. I don't even know if she's going to win. My feeling is she might not win. But I'm just going to be a stubborn mule and go with Becky Lynch as my first pick. My second pick is going to be somebody from Raw. So maybe WWE could do that storyline with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, and that's Alexa Bliss. She will be my second pick, and maybe Alexa wins and does the cash-in on Nia Jax to get revenge from WrestleMania. And then that sets up Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, or excuse me, Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss at some point. So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, who wants to go first on this one?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff, go ahead.
First choice, Natty. Going with what I said earlier. I like the Alexa thing as the second pick. That way we get Alexa versus Nia, Revenge WrestleMania, and then Alexa versus Ronda at SummerSlam. So I will say Natty's my first choice. Alexa's my second choice.
All right. Virtue.
All right, so Carmella won last year. She was from SmackDown. I really like the fact that I could see that briefcase on Raw this time. I'm going to go with Alexa winning it back. She seems like she's been losing or getting beat up a lot lately. So her carrying that briefcase with her little Harley Quinn looking face, I could see. I'm going with Alexa winning this one. Like everybody's down and out, and she just happens to be climbing up the ladder and grabs it. Choice number 2, I'm going to reach on this one, so to speak. I'm going Sasha Banks.
Ooh, wow. Interesting.
So, but I like Alexa. I want to see her win that because I could see her interjected in the Rousey and Nia little angle there. I just don't think, as much as we talk about Natty being, some force to fight Rousey or something like that, I just think, sorry, Natty, she's past her expiration date with creative. So that's why I'm not going to go Natty at all. So Alexa, Sasha, 1, 2.
All right.
Steph.
Well, as much as I'd like to go with somebody from SmackDown, either Becky Lynch, who would be great, or if Rusev and Lana won, even though Lana wouldn't be very credible as Miss Money in the Bank. I agree with Virtue. It's got to be Raw. You had the women's Money in the Bank on SmackDown all year last year. You barely saw the men's Money in the Bank because he cashed it in and wasted it so quickly. I think that was the point. Get the men's Money in the Bank out of the winner out of the spotlight so that you can showcase, have the spotlight on Carmella and her Money in the Bank contract.
Yep.
So this year I would say, makes sense. 50-50 booking, 1-1. So the women's goes to Raw, the men's goes to SmackDown. I'm going to agree with my first pick with Virtue, Alexa Bliss. It makes sense. She's I feel like the most credible person to win Money in the Bank. She's a heel. She's on Raw. It makes sense. But what also makes sense is the Natalya storyline. So I'm going to make that my second pick, just so I still get a point if they actually do what makes sense.
Good picks there. I like them. All right. So now we move on to the final match, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev Day, Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and a New Day member. But here's the thing, to steal Jeff's line, I think we might see all 3 members of the New Day involved in this match. Maybe not in official capacity, but I sense like all 3 of them are going to come out there and Kofi's going to do a ladder spot. it's no DQ, right, in a ladder match. So I sense it's going to be Big E as the official member, but Xavier and Kofi are going to take a couple bumps in this match, and Kofi's going to do a big spot. That's what I sense is going to happen here. Now, on SmackDown this week on the Go Home show, we saw Rusev defeat Samoa Joe. We had The Miz climb the ladder and grab pancakes. So The Miz is doing comedy with the New Day now. As much as I would like to see The Miz win, I sense he's in this comedy spot right now. I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it's going to be Rusev as much as I like Rusev. Strowman, I don't think needs it. My prediction is, number 1, Samoa Joe. I do think he needs to change his haircut, though. He needs to shorten it or do something. I'm going with Samoa Joe as my number 1 pick, and my number 2 pick is going to be Bob Roode, a guy that I think really needs a shakeup with his character. Bob Roode wins it, turns heel, and take his character in a new direction. So I think Bob Roode is my sympathetic pick to win, but he's going to be my number 2, and Joe is going to be my number 1. So that's what I'm going with. Virtue, let's start with you, and then Stefan, and then Jeff. So Virtue.
I agree with Joe because I think that Money in the Bank is going to be on showcased on SmackDown. So I agree with Joe winning that, and I want to pick The Miz number 2, and I am going to. And the only reason why, even though he probably won't win it, is if he does, just in case they want to do something with him winning the title, and then they do the Daniel Bryan feud later. So that's why I'm going to pick Miz number 2. But I still strongly believe this is Joe's match.
All right, Stefan.
I'm basically going to go the same, only I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to go Miz as my number 1 pick because, for 1, I want the Miz to win. And for 2, it would make a lot of sense. It would give him a lot of directions. Plus, he's got Miz and Mrs. So, that being on TV right now gives him a lot of somehow it gives him a lot of oomph. As just the Miz. He's the Miz, man. I mean, if there was any time to finally put him back into the main event picture, it would be now. And he's got so far to go too. So I mean, just the Miz, man. And then I'll go Joe number 2 because Joe is legitimately as a fighter, he seems like he should be the one to win. So yeah, that's my picks.
All right, JM.
Joe is my number 2 pick.
All right.
Bold prediction again. Kevin Owens wins it.
All right, yeah, Kevin Owens is a good pick. I mean, I feel like he's already kind of had his spotlight, though, so I don't know if it's going to be him or not, but...
Who really, on these 2 shows, needs this more than Kevin Owens and Bobby Roode?
I would agree. I think both of them could really use that win. None of us are picking New Day.
No.
Or Rusev.
Or Rusev. Yeah, poor Rusev. I mean, I would be fine with Rusev winning, but...
I would too, but it won't happen.
None of us
I would mark out.
Yeah, none of us picked Balor. None of us picked poor Finn Balor.
The only reason I'm not picking Finn Balor is I know that somewhere down the line they're going to go, okay, once they get the belt off Lesnar, it's like, okay, by the way, Balor never got his rematch. He can't beat Lesnar, but since we'll have him do this now.
Yeah, they'll conveniently remember it after Lesnar drops the title. Yeah. So, all right. Good picks, everyone. I like them. And we did not bring up the possibility of maybe the men's winner cashes in on AJ or Nakamura in that match. That could potentially happen, but who knows?
Hopefully the men's ladder match goes on last, so there's no option for the men to cash in.
Good point, because what else goes last on this show? Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's good.
How many times was something cashed in at the actual Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Twice?
At least 2, because Ambrose and Kane.
Yeah. I think if it's been done at least twice, 2 or more times, I don't think it's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the men's will... Well, Ronda's match could go on last, but, oh, man.
Oh, man. Oh, no. God.
I mean, they're billing it as the biggest women's championship match of all time, so... Yeah.
The men's Money in the Bank has to main event. That's what the pay-per-view name is.
And the women's main evented last year. So,
yeah.
Trade back.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right. So that concludes our predictions for Money in the Bank. Thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully the WWE apologists will not get too much on our case for being mostly negative about this show. But yeah, it's
Or for 5 takes to get it done.
Oh yeah. Well, for those of you that watched all the way through, I got a little treat for you as we wrap this up. So stay tuned. All right, so let's do the plugs. Stefan.
You can follow me on Twitter at Stefan, STEFANR Osborne, OSBORNE. You can find me on Facebook, Stefan Osborne. I've got a YouTube channel where I do my videos before Aaron gets them, After Match Wrestling. It's all one word, After Match. Or you can just go to nodq.com/Stefan.
Thank you.
Or slash Kayfabe Candy Ass, or slash Cindy, or slash Jeff, the other Jeff, or Big G, or any of those guys. So that's how you find us.
Very cool for you to plug your comrades here on the No DQ panel. All right, Virtue.
At No DQ_Virtue, and up next will be the No DQ review, and there's going to be something that gets hot and heavy. I just have that gut feeling. So stay tuned.
All right, Jeff Meacham.
The No DQ review is going to be fun this week. No question about it. So be on the lookout for that probably tomorrow. When this goes up, it'll be tomorrow. NoDQ.com/Jeff for my Twitter and Instagram. It's _Jeff Meacham. You can find me at YouTube.com/Jeff Meacham for my show, Talk Wrestling. The show is already up for this week, but next week we're going to talk about we're going to talk about shit. I'll let you know. Anyway,
how the hell? Oh, finish. Go ahead and finish.
No, yeah, it's YouTube.com/Jeff Meacham.
Okay, yeah, NoDQ.com/Jeff to go straight to your Twitter page.
I said that. Yes.
All right. I was just gonna say we went over an hour with this, which shocks the hell out of me. I don't know how we got an hour review.
Are you
preview,
in the stop and goes before?
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for mentioning that, Jeff. So we're all done here. We're signing out. But for those of you still watching, we'll see you next time. And here's a little treat for you. Enjoy.
Have fun, y'all.
I still don't see Jeff.
Don't worry. Oh wait a minute. Jeff, you there?
I'm here.
You ready, Stefan? You're out of the shot. You ready to go? Do you think there's any chance of Anderson and Gallows leaving Chicago with the tag team titles?
Nope. Not a chance. Bludgeon Brothers retain. What the fuck happened now?
Your thoughts on this kickoff match? Do you think there's any chance we have new tag team champions? What happened?
Not a chance.
He was thinking.
What the hell just happened? I just completely lost you guys there for right now. Oh, this weekend's gonna be fun. Right, here we go.
You guys are deep shit.
Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome.
I had to do it one time, Aaron.
Let's start this. Here we go. Here we go, guys.
I tried not to, Jeff, but I was looking at you.
Oh, fuck.
All right, I'm good to go.
Here we go. I'm ready. Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome. Fuck, you guys.